I have a question about awareness. I have heard you say going inward to recognize awareness and then going outward to experience. It seems to me that experiencing experiences, I have choices to go right or left. When I make a decision, is it awareness that makes the decision?
If you're asked a question, would you prefer reading a book or watching a movie? The question, would you prefer reading a book or watching a movie, is a thought, and your answer, watching a movie, is a second thought. During the question, would you prefer reading a book or watching a movie? The choice has not yet been made. By the time you've answered watching a movie, the choice has already been made. So the choice takes place between those two thoughts. Now, what is present between two thoughts? Awareness, just awareness.
So there is no separate chooser of the watching a movie thought?
Exactly. After the second thought, watching a movie, appears, a third thought may appear. I chose to watch a movie. The chooser is created with that thought, or rather imagined with that thought. There is nothing to the chooser other than that thought. In other words, when we say, I chose to watch a movie, the I refers to an entity that is not present anywhere during this chain of causation.
That makes sense. I say, I chose, or I decided, but I couldn't figure out where the I was. So does awareness make our choices?
Awareness is aware of itself. Between the question, reading a book or watching a movie, and the answer, watching a movie, it's awareness that is present. But awareness doesn't slip in there like the TV screen doesn't slip in between two movies. The screen doesn't choose. It has no choice. There's no such thing as choice. Awareness is choiceless.
So what is it that happens when we make choices?
Thought number 1. Would you prefer reading a book or watching a movie? Vanishes. The background of awareness is revealed. Thought number 2. Watching a movie arises. When thought number 2 is present, thought number 1 is non-existent. Thought number 3 then says, I considered the question and answered, creating a chain of causation and an agent of that choice, which equals I. But in reality, there is no agent of the choice.
So what links our thoughts together?
What links them all together is awareness. All three thoughts have this in common. The third thought creates the I supposedly present throughout each thought. That I is not truly present. The true I is awareness.
How long does the chain go on?
Thought number 4 imagines that the chain exists in time because thought cannot know awareness, the eternal screen. Thought number 4 can't see the screen but is made of it, so it imagines that eternity is time. Thus, the whole idea of time, causality, and choice is the mind's childish way of making sense of something it cannot know about.
So, I is awareness, and not the I, which is referred to my body-mind.
That's right.
Okay, let me think about it.
I is awareness. I know you want to think about it, but thinking will only make it worse. You have to grasp it and get it, and not think about it.
I get that, but it's difficult for me to grasp. In my experience, things seem linked. Maybe the connection was awareness?
Exactly. The connection between things is awareness. The finite mind conceives this connection as time. The finite mind sees eternity as time and imagines causality and choice, which are reflections of its limitations. The finite mind's point of view is I think, therefore I am.
So the finite mind projects its limitations onto reality, and time doesn't really exist?
Yes. Time is like the glasses the mind wears through which it looks at the world. Time is in the mind's limitations, not in reality. The finite mind's limitations bring time and space out of the eternal, infinite nature of awareness into apparent existence.
That makes sense. So everything is perceived through the filter of the finite mind?
Exactly. Everything the mind knows or perceives is filtered through its own limitations. Thought filters reality into time, and perception filters it into space. Time and space are reflections of the limitations of finite mind, not what's really there.
How do we know what's really there then?
We don't. Investigating the nature of the finite mind is crucial because the world appears as a reflection of the mind's limitations. If the mind is limited, the world appears limited. When the mind's limitations are cleansed, the world appears infinite.
So cleansing the mind from its limitations reveals an unlimited reality?
Yes, when the mind is cleansed of its limitations, the world that is known by that mind will also be cleansed of its limitations and appear infinite. The mind and the world are realized to be the same indivisible reality. This is the essence of non-duality, the core understanding of all great spiritual and religious traditions.
Thank you. This has been enlightening.
Good day, my friend. Remember, choiceless awareness. Grasp it. Don't think.